In this Cardano update, we'll be looking at the Vasil hard fork, which is happening on the 22nd of September, and how it's going to actually enable applications to launch, provide useful apps, and provide value for the Cardano ecosystem in general. So I'll leave the timestamps for all of the different sections down in the description below. We can see Cardano is reacting to the good news of the Vasil hard fork, confirmed now for the 22nd of September. There can still be other things that go wrong that maybe push it back, but that's the date that is confirmed. And we can actually see that for the most part, all of the different players in the ecosystem are doing their job. So yeah, we've actually flipped XRP right here, up 14% in the last 7 days, which is good. Speculation here, of course, but the real value is to be added over the long term, which I will talk about in this video. So as we can see here from input output themselves, Vasil upgrade date confirmed. Following the successful completion and extensive testing of all core components, plus confirmed community readiness, which is really important as well, because remember, the SBOs had like an issue here with the upgrade, and they voiced that concern, and that's what delayed it for a while. So, you know, input output, they don't control what happens on Cardano. It's a community of different people that eventually all have to say yes for the upgrade to happen. So why is the Vasil upgrade important? Like, what is the value driver? Why get excited about this? Well, Vasil is the most significant Cardano upgrade to date, bringing increased network capacity and lower cost transactions. The upgrade will also bring enhancements to Plutus to enable devs to create more powerful and efficient blockchain-based applications. This is it now, and I've been saying this for a while. This is really, in my opinion, the last Cardano upgrade to really get excited about in terms of speculating about upgrades and prices. And we saw in the last bull market some different Cardano blockchain upgrades that really drove the price. For me now, I think Cardano is now in a state where enough rich applications can launch. Now we're looking at those applications actually to build value. That's what's going to build value long term, and not just saying that we're upgrading the technology, because if no one uses the technology, it's not valuable. And of course, we're investors in ADA, and so we want this value. We want people to come across, and what drives people over the long term, especially more people, is obviously applications that they can use. So let's talk about ADA quickly as well. If you want to get the crypto investor course, link in description. We have a Cardano group which I update regularly with, you know, some of my research kind of in live time. A lot of people are live in that group as well and actually communicate. A lot of ADA investors. If you want to check that out, plus 200 other videos on crypto and investing and kind of how to start with this, that's all there. I'm adding some videos to it in the near future as well, so take a look, linked in description. So what are the next stages for the Vasil hard fork? As you can see, Vasil DevNet, preview, pre-production, and mainnet. We are almost there right now. Anyway, the 22nd is, you know, the date. As you can see here, 75% of nodes are supposed to be upgraded for the hard fork to occur. 87% have upgraded, so that has been met. As we can see down here as well, you do need a lot of exchanges. These are getting there. Binance is nearly there, apparently. MEXC is ready. A few others are ready. A few other small ones not started. But yeah, Binance is probably the big one, right? Binance and MEXC, and obviously Coinbase as well. So probably those three, you know, but they're in progress. So they're getting there. The other exchanges, do much smaller amount in volume as well. Really important is that the top Dapps projects, as you can see here, they need to be prepared for Vasil, and they need to have time to test as well. As you can see, a few of these are actually tested already. So Lending Pond, ADA, and D Quadrant here with a couple of apps have all tested. You've got a few in testing as well. So I'll go over ADA as well, who actually are going to be launching on the 13th of September before the Vasil hard fork. ADA is a lending protocol, and so this is really important to drive people over to Cardano, right? If people have a use case, then not just speculation about the price, this is it for me. So this is what I get excited about. So let's have a look at ADA and what they're doing. As you can see, ADA, they're going to be essentially like Aave, right? So Aave, a lending protocol, put some assets on there, lend them out on an over-collateralized basis, and some yield on them. So we're going to look at this and see what they're doing right here. ADA As you can see, ADA Finance is a fully decentralized lending and borrowing protocol. So for me, if you've ever used Aave or Venus on Binance Smart Chain, it's very simple. Put some assets on there, people can borrow them, and they can do their other thing and pay you an interest, right? This is built on the Cardano blockchain. Its smart contracts allow users to lend and borrow assets in a peer-to-peer manner using the unique non-fungible token bond strategy. So this is something slightly unique with Cardano. It's happening more and more on Ethereum as well with NFTs, and Uniswap do NFT-based liquidity provider tokens as well. So it's happening around, but thanks to Cardano and having native tokens, it's quite easy and low cost for them to do. So as we can see here, the tokens that are going to be added on ADA, so if you have any of these, you can lend them out, and then anyone that borrows them for their various strategies obviously pay you a yield. What we can see here is NFT bonds. So one of the things here is that NFT bonds essentially enable someone, whoever has the NFT bond, they can actually sell that to someone else, which is quite a unique thing to do. So let's say you have someone that's borrowing some tokens. So there is obviously a debt obligation here. Now what you can do is sell that NFT off and sell that debt obligation off. This is essentially what banks were doing with mortgage-backed securities and things like that, which is, selling off different bonds. Now, if you've ever worked in finance, you'll know that this happens all the time with banks where they actually sell loans to someone else. They want to get it off their books, right? So if they have a liability, they want to get that off. And so it enables the trading of debt, which is obviously a really big use case within a financial ecosystem. So very interesting to see this. What you can see is a utilizable token, which I'll go over right now. So this is the lending protocol. This is a test net. So as you can see here, it does look a little bit like Aave, but you have a loan here and you put the collateral up. And so you can choose a token to loan or borrow. The collateral here is ADA, and then they pay interest in ADA. As far as I'm aware, these can actually be changed around a little bit. So you can put collateral up in one token and maybe pay the interest in another. So there's obviously lots of different things you can do with the way that Cardano works in terms of their assets, because very easy to switch them around. Now, I don't work with ADA at all. I don't recommend the platform or anything. It's still testing. So, I'd recommend going very slowly into it if that is something you're interested in. In terms of the tokenomics, what usually happens with applications is they have a big chunk of the tokens for the team and early investors. They have a big chunk of tokens for liquidity incentives, right? Because why would anyone use their application? Well, they would do so because they get incentives to do so, right? So that comes in the form of essentially what they call liquidity mining rewards or something like that. So as you can see, a public distribution, about 14%. It's not a lot, right? So a lot of these applications are like this. This is, I would say, in the ballpark of what most applications are these days, which is a small public distribution. Then you have a private round, which here is 20%. But if you look at advisors, you also have core team as well. The insiders allocation, I think, makes up around 50%. You have some small public distribution, and then you have a big chunk here, which is staking and governance, which I'm sure is going to be marketing, liquidity incentives as well. Vasil for me is the event where Cardano can now compete with its competitors, right? So Binance Smart Chain, fully functioning ecosystem, Polygon, fully functioning, Solana as well, even though the blockchain has major issues. You have lending and borrowing, you have trading, right? And so this is it now for Cardano to actually compete. The one main issue for me is still no stablecoins. This is a massive fundamental issue. No stablecoins it just is a lead weight around your ankle. You absolutely must have stablecoins. Users want to trade and lend and borrow with stablecoins, and they're not on the system yet. I have no idea what is going on and why there isn't stablecoins here. I know Nomad tried to bring stablecoins over. What a mess that was. It got hacked, right? Do not use stablecoins via a bridge. It's unsafe. Bridges are unsafe no matter what system you use. The big issue here is you need stablecoins. And I know JED is coming as well. Vasil will help with JED, and that's a decentralized stablecoin. But for me, most people want to use USDT and USDC. And so they need to come over. And that hopefully is the next step. There's still no real news about that either. And that is, for me, the most important thing. Vasil is coming, so that we know that. But now we need those stable coins as well. If you want to talk about Cardano, or if you want to just know more about the crypto ecosystem, you can see all of these videos in the Crypto Investor course. I'm going to be making some new ones as well with my research, and you can come and join the private Discord groups as well. Thousands of investors in there, and we have a Cardano specific group as well. I'll leave that linked in the description. I'm James with MoneyTG. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.